Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Thursday. This is Devils After Dark, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios inside the bunker. Undisclosed location, beautiful New Jersey. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch, along with Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network. As the Devils fall short again, losing 1-0 to the Florida Panthers tonight in Sunrise. Devils on a 2-game losing streak, both in regulation, but lots to go over today. Scotty's on assignment tonight, so I'm flying solo with you. Hello, YouTube Live, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, X Live, and Twitch. Don't forget about Twitch. I'm your host, Sam Wu. Devils losing 1-0 tonight to the Florida Panthers. Do the Devils have an offensive problem? We'll get to that shortly. But let's do the game recap. As you know, Scotty does it his way. He does a great job of it, his monologue. But there's only one Scotty, and he does it so well. But I'll do my best to do the monologue for tonight. Just getting the track ready. I can't find the track, the bumper. No, it's not that. Oh, well, we won't have a track tonight. I asked Beer Baron to come on, but he's got parent duties. So I will do my best to do the monologue. Seeing a lot of comments in the YouTube Live. Yes, I'm flying solo. Wasn't expecting it tonight. But yeah, well, let's do the game recap. Devils Panthers tonight at what arena do they call it now? Oh, I don't know what arena they call it, but let's call it Panthers Arena because of all the name changes. Devils Panthers in the first period. Well, Jake the Snake Allen in net. What a sigh of relief. I'll tell you, Jake Allen in the first period, he was shutting the door. I mean, the Panthers were putting the pressure on. And then the Devils, again, they were countering in the first period, but Sam Reinhart scores his 11th of the season, assisted by Forsley on a shot that I don't know. Could Allen have saved that shot? Went over I think his right shoulder. That shot was so fast. 1-0 Panthers. And it will remain like that for the rest of the game. Yeah. That's it. But seriously, Jake Allen, I thought, let's not do the game recap. I can't do it like Scotty. I can't do it like Scotty, especially going solo. But was the effort there tonight? Yes. Much better effort than Tampa. Tampa was just like, okay, that wasn't good. Regroup. Go down to Sunrise and figure it out. The Devils' effort was solid tonight. Jake Allen was solid. I see that's like the boy. But why can't the Devils finish? Why can't the Devils finish? Lately, when they beat the Blackhawks in Chicago, then Jack Hughes, the injury, They got off to a great start against the Washington Capitals, but the game going into a shootout. Devils winning 3-2, but really 2 goals in regulation. Then fast forward to last Tuesday. Devils only got 1 measly goal, losing 5-1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. And even that goal that Nico Hischier scored almost got called back. But tonight, they threw everything against Bobrovsky. And you got to give him credit. Goalie Bob gets it done. He shut the door. He anticipated every shot. And there was a flurry in the end there. 6-on-5. And he withstood the pressure. And you got to give him credit, and the Florida Panthers a lot of credit, for trying to shut down the New Jersey Devils. As the Devils got 31 shots on goal to Florida's 24. Block shots were about even. Edge to Florida 14-13. Hits, Devils had one more hit than the Panthers, 23-22. And the Devils were pretty feisty during the game. Dougie Hamilton getting some hits on. Nico Hischier, end of the second period. You know the history of the Florida Panthers and their artificial infuriation and taking out all their anger on Nico Hischier for whatever reason. And Nico Hischier has not forgotten. Face-offs, Devils had the edge, 27-22. Power play, Devils are 0 for 2. And the Florida Panthers 0 for 1. Penalty minutes, Florida had 1 extra penalty, 4 minutes, with Devils having 2. But, yeah, I see a lot of people commenting about Timo Meier. Steve Tartaz says Timo Meier is not an $8 million player here. Maybe need to move Timo back with Nico. Steve Tartaz even saying Hamilton was a disaster in the first period. Several players to get to behind him. It's going to take a little time with Dougie Hamilton to get back in the groove. But really, you know, the Devils offensively, I mean, they had their shots, they had their chances. And at times, I think they're just waiting for the perfect shot. And when that happens, they literally telegraphed all their passes where Bobrovsky can see the puck 9 out of 10 times. The Devils need to do better. They need to cause some traffic in front of the net, which they did at times. But again, put the puck on net quickly. It doesn't need to be the perfect shot. But they skated with the Florida Panthers. They stood up to the Florida Panthers. Just a reminder, Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. 3 Stanley Cup appearances in a row. And even a President's Trophy winner the year before all this. Stanley Cup runs. They're a great team. They're a team that the New Jersey Devils should model after. They need to get tougher. It's not like the Devils got blown out. But you could see the difference between Jake the Snake Allen and Jacob Markstrom. You could see the difference. Allen is much more confident, calmer. He got hit a couple times, but he didn't get rattled. He only gave up 1 goal, and I don't think any goalie could have stopped that shot. That shot was a rocket from Sam Reinhart. And I don't blame Jake Allen on this game. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for Jake Allen, it wouldn't have been a 1-0 game. Keep that in mind. Dubs is like, Sam, a quarter of the Panthers roster's out, more injured than we are. Yes and no, but the Devils, they got some guys coming back, but they're not 100% either. And that, I'm not making excuses. I think they were two evenly matched teams. I just think Bobrovsky was the big difference for tonight. Just for tonight. But that does not... But it begs the question, do the Devils have an offense problem right now? They're getting their chances. There certainly are. I mean, they're getting the puck towards the net. But the puck's just simply not going in. They went through two great goaltenders. Vasilevsky's had a bad season, but he had a good night last Tuesday. I mean, it was kind of a, one of those games that you knew that the Tampa Bay Lightning, after getting shelled, wanted to come out strong, and they did. And the Devils just were, again, really, I didn't like the effort last Tuesday, but this game, totally different. I thought the Devils' effort was much, much, much better. Much, much, much better. And Jake the Snake Allen, he played really well tonight. Unfortunately, he couldn't get the win. You need more offense than this. And I had actually hopes that I'd go on this Florida trip, but boy, am I lucky that I didn't go on this trip. If you were a Devils fan that went to these two games in Florida, in Tampa and in Sunrise, you only got to see one goal. One goal the entire time. It's not good for, it's not good. But right now the Devils are 1-2 with a total of 3 goals scored in regulation, meaning 1 goal per game. That's not going to get it done in the National Hockey League, and they need to do better. Robert Isaacs has said there's a lack of sustained offensive pressure minus the last 5 minutes of the game. Devils are not rolling 4 lines of sustained pressure like they did in October. I agree. But when Cody Glass was in the lineup, the team was winning. I think they're missing Cody Glass right now. Defensively, I thought the Devils' effort tonight was much better than it was against Tampa. Dubs is like, the process was much better tonight, that's for sure. Looked a lot better than the Tampa game. There's a lot of hockey coming up this week. Going to be tough. Nico, Timo, Bratt, Mercer need to score. Yeah, they need to score, and they need to score now. Brad had a few shots at the end there. I wish he passed to Nemitz. There was one sequence in the last seconds that Nemitz was wide open to take a one-timer. I wish Brad had passed to him. But the Devils fall short. And they're going to have to regroup because they got the Philadelphia Flyers this Saturday. I'll be at that game down in Philadelphia at the Xfinity Mobile Center, trying to finalize plans where the Let's Go Devils podcast, Game Day Live, and Devils After Dark will be broadcasting from down in Philadelphia. That information forthcoming. Ariel says, I'm worried about the scoring touch. Selective Voice says they do have an offensive issue. an offense issue. And it's becoming a problem. And also, he says, can Luke Hughes stop the errant passing, please? Shimon Nemitz has. He definitely has. He's been very smart with the puck. And also, I saw an ad out there that he is going to be at Sports Minded Unlimited in Warren, New Jersey for an autograph signing on November 30th. I got a text about that. Dubs is like, agree, Sam. Cody Glass on the third line center is much more important and impactful than people think. He's almost got an engine out there. It's noticeable right now. Need Glass back ASAP. You can't roll 4 lines if you don't have a third line centerman right now. And the bottom line is, I said this, during the Woo Report and during the Morning Woo, that you're going to need to find that third line center regardless before NHL trade deadline. But why wait? Why wait right now when Jack Hughes is out for 8 weeks? You could get your third line center. We've passed some names around. Could it be Kadri out of Calgary? Could it be Ryan O'Reilly out of Nashville? And while you're at it, are there any snipers ready to go? We talked about Jason Robertson. I don't think that's possible. He's got a 7.5 AAV, and he's due for a big payday. What about Kyrou out of St. Louis? Could there be others on Nashville that Barry Trotz is willing to part ways with? Devils are going to pay a price either way, but if you think that this team is a legitimate Stanley Cup contender based on the sample size with Jack Hughes, why wait, Tom Fitzgerald? Why wait? Your team desperately needs a third-line center, and when Cody Glass does come back, and if you do acquire that third-line center, down the middle, when Jack Hughes gets back, it would be one of the toughest lineups to go against. But right now, all you have really is Nico Hischier at center. And there are a lot of guys that are just, Gritsik, he's been moving around through lines 1 through 4. You've got Palat on the third line with Nason. Lamico, again, I had high hopes for him. Maybe he could be as effective, but not really. I like Glenn Denning. I like what he brings to the faceoffs. I like the hard work of the fourth line. Paul Cotter drawing a penalty, but the fourth line's got to get more involved. Definitely has got to get more involved offensively. Scarlet Knight, 1082, I think. Can't read. Watch out for spitters in Philly, Sam Wu. Yeah, I told this story the other day. I'll watch out. Thank you. Wimpy, Kyrou is small and soft. Yes, but he has won a cup as well. You got to look at the entire picture, the entire body of work. But if you were going to have a blockbuster trade with Nashville, and if you can bring back Forsberg and O'Reilly, and if you really want to go, does anybody want Steven Stamkos at this point? I don't think it's going to happen. Steve Chartaz, not enough shifts for the fourth line to be a major force. I mean, the fourth line's important. This is how you wear out teams. But it seems like the Devils are gassed. I mean, they threw everything at the Florida Panthers in that third period. They outshot the Florida Panthers in the third period. They had their chances, but Bobrovsky, got to give him credit. He stood on his head. He was en fuego. He was on fire tonight. Goalie Bob. Ariel Fernandez says, Forsberg's always been one of my favorites. Can you imagine pairing him up with Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt? That first line. Second line, Heischer, Mercer, and Meyer. Third line, O'Reilly, Nason, and let's say Gritzik because Palat's been traded. I know all you folks want Palat traded. The jersey's been sent. The money's been paid to get it stitched. Just waiting for it to come back. That Palat jersey, number 18. It's already sent away. Robert Isaacson asks, can we wait to see what happens next 5 games? Philly twice, Detroit, Buffalo, St. Louis. These are beatable teams. If this team goes 1-4 in the next 5, Fitzy has to make a move. I agree with you, but I disagree with you. I respectfully disagree with you. Why wait? That's 10 points on the 10 points on the table. You're going to need a third line center anyway. Those are the needs that all the pundits have been saying. Every digital article I've read. Third line center, first line winger. If you could swing it. But the asking price is very high, so you're going to have to make a determination. And this is why GMs, this is where they get paid. Knowing when to take that risk and go all in. And I want Tom Fitzgerald to go all in. Why wait? There's only so many years that you're going to have some of these players entering their prime. Why wait? They're just possibly one player away of really putting them over the top. Select the Voice says, Palat has been nothing but clay. Yeah, Palat does work out there. He does. But again, at $6 million, and that's what everybody looks at, AAV, not getting the job done. Nope. Tough loss tonight. Really tough loss tonight for your New Jersey Devils. Yeah, and Wimpy says you can't move Nemec now. That was one of those trade pieces. Hello to the Instagram Live. I'm going to check out Facebook Live as well while I'm at it. Doing a little social media bar hopping. But yeah, tough night for the New Jersey Devils. Tony Gerald says, the boys played their bags off. What a great game. I'm not mad at this loss, just sad. Jake Allen, 2-star of the game, 2nd star of the game. With all that said, I wonder what it would take to pull off a trade with Stamkos. Is Stamkos too old for you? Is Stamkos still effective? But if you bring Stamkos and O'Reilly in, that's not bad either. Two proven winners that can win Stanley Cups. you reunite Stamkos with Palat, assuming Palat's not in that trade. But again, how do you fit them under the salary cap structure of the New Jersey Devils right now? Robert Isaacson, Rule 3 from Moneyball, don't make trades under desperation. People know we need scoring. We probably have to overpay. I think you're going to have to overpay anyway because everybody knows what the needs are. I think Tom Fitzgerald should start kicking the tires. But obviously don't make a stupid knee-jerk move. But it's already been out there, even before all these injuries, that's what the Devils need. But the Devils are going to have to figure it out. Scarlet Knight says, rule number 76, no excuses, play like a champion. And the Devils are going to have to figure it out. They're going to have to find a way against Philadelphia. Like I said before, this Metropolitan Division, you're one losing streak away of just being completely out of playoff contention. You got to get your points. And it's disheartening that the last two games, the Devils got zero, zilch, nada. However, this is how I'm going to spin it, because I said before, this road trip, if the Devils can go 500 or above, I take it. Right now, their road trip started in Chicago, a win there. Washington, a win there, 4 points, but the last two games, they get nothing. So if they beat the Flyers on Saturday in Philly, the last leg of this 5-game road trip, I'll take it. Take it when you can get it, especially against a team that's within your division. They beat the Capitals, team within their division. Of course, the game went to a shootout. Caps getting 1 point. One loser point. Devils getting 2 points for the win. But if you're going to play the Philadelphia Flyers and you can get that win, I'll take it. So that's how big, important that game is down in Philly on Saturday. 7 o'clock Eastern start. Also, it's coinciding with Nebraska and Penn State out in State College. Not that it has anything to do with the game, but, maybe there's some Flyer fans that are out that way. See how many Devils fans show up on Saturday. Looking around on social media, see if there's anybody else. Alrighty, well, we'll see what happens on Saturday. We're going to have the morning woo tomorrow. And your normal time between 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And then on Saturday, we're going to have the morning woo, Game Day Live, and Devils After Dark down in Philadelphia. And Vinny Parisi will be filling in for Scotty for Devils After Dark on Saturday. All right, I want to thank all those tuning in to the podcast, dropping the podcast in about 10 minutes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Prime, Audible. And, tough loss tonight. I wouldn't sweat it, but it's a little concerning The Devils aren't scoring. But then again, they are getting shots on goal. So I'm not going to get too anxious just yet. All right, getting out of here. Well, I'll see you on the Morning Woo tomorrow around 7 a.m. Eastern. Devils lose 1-0 to the Florida Panthers. Right side, Jake Allen played well. That's all I got. Till next time, let's go Devils.